Guys, those are here. Miss Sharon, thank you. I knew you were going to be in here. Fish Chicks, how are you? I don't usually do things like this, so there may not be a lot of people in here, which is fine. So we have replay and stuff like that. I guess y'all can hear me fine, 5x5. But I'm going to do a couple things, update some things, and just give some some details of things going on. But I wanted to do this like this, just kind of this pop up live, or somebody sees this on replay, because I wanted to keep it separate. Thank you, Miss Sharon. I wanted to keep it separate from my Sunday chat, because Sunday chat can kind of have that different vibe or feel to it, and I wanted to keep this separate, but it's things I wanted to kind of address a little bit. So a couple things, I guess. I appreciate all of you who went over to Papa's Farm with, hey, Michael, Allison Rescue. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Huckleberry, Miss Sharon, make sure he behaves, right? Because for Thursdays, and when we started that, we had this vision, the three of us, we started that with things I'm going to get into that are going on. I had approached Papa's Farm about taking that, because I couldn't be selfish in this situation. I didn't think it was fair to the creators or to you guys for me to hold on to that, when right now, with the way things are going, kind of in my life, which I'm going to get into some details like before. I won't get into, and others, I will, kind of let you guys know what's going on, because we're all, it's kind of like our YouTube streets family, right? I had to make a decision to pass that, to continue, and I can go on when I'm able to, because with things going on, I knew I could not commit, and it wasn't fair. I could not commit to doing a weekly thing of that on Thursday, which Thursday just happens to be a big, well, I'll be honest, a big doctor day for my mom. It's this Thursday thing. And both times I told you, like when I found out that, bad news that time, it was right before, Josh and I and Papa's Farm, we were going on a live, and then it's gone like that. And yesterday was a rough day. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able, I knew the day was coming up. I didn't know the outcome of what it was going to be, but I knew it was coming up, and I wasn't focused or in the right mindset with something so heavy going on and being able to go with that. So that is why that moved. I appreciate that. And I'm so grateful for him to take that torch and continue on. So that's why that happened, because I got tons of emails. What's going on? What's happened? On and on. I see you guys coming in here. Mark, Sergeant Deacon Howard, Chaos Prepper, Gmail Nana, I'm sorry if I've missed you. I appreciate all of you coming in. I know this is just kind of a quick thing. So that is kind of went on, why that transpired. And we're still going to go over there, but I wanted him to kind of be the seat holder. And I said, hey, if I can't, or things are going on, life's crazy. And I'm always front and center with y'all. I'm saying, this is real life. This is what it is, about simple things or large things. And that when we started that, all of this wasn't going on. And so I made that decision, because I needed it to be fair for everyone. And so that's why that's gone on. A couple Sundays ago, I don't know how many weeks ago, was I had given information about my mom, and I was, I gave a good overview of that situation. And, there was been follow-ups, and then there's a big appointment was yesterday. If you know anything, and I understand curiosity about people and medical. I work both sides of medical, so I understand, kind of the details of whatever. But, I talked about, it is a grade 4 glioblastoma. Okay. If you know anything about it, you can look it up yourself. I'm not going to get into the details of that on here. YouTube would probably smack me anyways, just for bringing it up. That's what's going on. So if you know anything about the way that works, and I said, we were kind of on a prayer. We just, how things are going. And yesterday I did, we were blindsided. We did not get the news we were hoping for, or we've been praying for. And so now we're in the things sinking in and processing that, which comes to a lot of there's whole things you go through with if you've ever been through this yourself or family members. And so, without getting in a lot of detail, with that type of brain cancer and that level, um, you'll have to look into details yourself if you're curious to know about it. Um, it wasn't the news we were hoping for. I'll say that, and I'll just say that time is the time they were given and said because of updated MRIs, post-op MRIs, and things like that. What's going on? And I'll just say that is the most aggressive type of brain cancer when it's grade 4. It just is. That's just what it is. And so the time frame the doctors have gave is short. Now, do the doctors know? No, they're not God. But medically, looking at things medically, and test run and medically looking at things and evidence kind of there, it just wasn't what we were hoping for or have been praying for. And with that, my focus, even if it's last minute focus, something comes, it has to, I need to be able to be there. And I know my mind's not always going to be here. And that's just what it is right now. And that's why I had to make decisions about the show, but just other things as far as, there's going to be times, even unplanned times, because life right now is not, everything's not planned and in a routine and schedule and things like that. There's going to be times I'm just going to have to be away from here and away from emails and disconnected because I'm trying to soak up all my time. And with her and, us as a family and just decisions and things that go on with things like this in life. And I want to update you guys for that because I think you deserve to kind of know a little bit what's going on because people can tell. I worry myself about the people. I'm like, oh, they're, okay. You don't have to give details. Are you okay? But I mean, this is something I chose to talk about. And, none of us know when our last day is, which is some of the things with things that go on, real life stuff has brought a lot of this to my mind about grief. And when we're faced with things like this, if I'm missing you, I'm sorry. Hey, Milkmaid, I'm sorry. I'm seeing all you guys come in here. None of us know when we're going to be called home, whether it's something sudden and unexpected or something like this, we don't know. And so I myself, my family, and I encourage all you, and it can be a work and it can be a repeated thing you have to do, is trying to find peace, not just when things are going good, but in the bad. And that's where I am. That's just where I am right now. Because, with grief, there's no way around it but through it. And grief is one of those things that demands to be felt. And that's just what it is. And that's why I know I'm going to have good days and I'm going to have bad days. And to be honest with you, for a bit now, and especially again, another blow of information came yesterday. It can be moment to moment. I can be fine and then I'm not fine. And that's to be expected during all of this. And I think that, I try to find, and I've told other people this, and I'm in the seat now, and I'm having to tell myself that, and I've gone through this, people know about, I've had loss in my life. My best friend since I was 15, she passed 2 years ago unexpectedly, and that was horrific. It was, several people we've lost, and that happens and I've told people this, that I've gone through these type of losses as well, or it's upcoming. And when it's like this, it's not something sudden and unexpected. Those who get called home, they're perfect and whole. They're free from the suffering of this world, whatever shape that was in. The pain is for all of us left here. And Josh and I, we've maybe it was even one we did with Papa's Farm also. We were never promised. As a matter of fact, we were told, we were going to go through trials in tribulations here on this earth. And this is one of those in the valleys moments that I'm walking into. And with all of that, I just want to make, for people to know that with that suffering and that pain and that grief, it's never an excuse to lose your faith or your courage. And I just, for everyone, anyone, no matter what you're facing, I hear a lot of that. People, they lose that, or why would God let this happen, or why didn't He fix this? Well, it was in His will, and that's not an easy pill to swallow. I get it, and I have some of that myself. I mean, what I do and the side of things I know, and how many people I help, and this is just who I am. God created me to be this way for YouTube. This is what I've done for so long, and how we do things, how we live this is one, and I went over and over it last night and even this morning, I just thought, well, yesterday when I got my husband and we sat in here and got on speakerphone, we had to talk to my parents of what had, gone on. And, my very thing was, oh God, not my mama. God, don't take my mama. And, that is where I am, on and off with things. But in this one, I'm just like, I can't, no matter what I do or help or give or advice or any of these different things, I cannot save her or fix this. And, there's that almost panic wave feeling of like, I have to fix this. I have to heal this. I have to save her. So I myself am going through that, is still having my peace in God's will about things. Now, I still trust God, and if God wants to work a miracle, He can do it in a blink. I still firmly believe that. She believes that. She's in good spirits. She's okay. Of course, this isn't what the news that she wanted, but she still has a peace, and it's just, it's going to come and go. And things have, again, if you look up what that type is, if you want to more detailed, I'm not going to get into it on here, it just can be very, very aggressive. And in 5.5 weeks since her post-op, it's just not what we were expecting, the aggression of how that has transpired. And there's chemo stuff, no surgery, no chemo, anything is not an option at this point. So, we're holding on to our time and trusting God and staying in prayer. And that is why I had, last week or a couple days ago, I'm sorry, my days are running together. That's why I had to make that change. And I appreciate, I did not get to the emails asking what in the world has happened. What happened Thursday? Are you doing this? Are you stepping? What, that is why, because it would have been selfish for me to say, well, I'm going to hold this, but I'm going to be hit and miss for a while. And it is not fair to the other creators. And that's not fair to you guys. I had to make that decision because I know right now my life is going to be hectic. And I appreciate Papa's for taking that torch and taking the reins and continuing with that. And he do whatever he wants with it. I am praying for that new journey. I told him that yesterday, for that to go wherever he, God sees it to go, and he does. So I did want to give an update because I had brought up the situation with my mom several, I see all you over here. I'm going to get to chat in a minute about my mom, the situation that was going on. And, I'd had a ton of emails about that. I'll medically side, I don't mind talking about it. I won't go into a lot of stuff personally because that's out of respect. I just won't do that. And people would ask me different things, and it is a genetic form that runs in that side of the family. There's been several of them. And it has to do with a gene mutation that is carried in that side. So I'm going to get over here to chat. I just felt like, so y'all kind of know, and plus I could kind of answer some of these things as a whole. I've gotten tons of emails, and I appreciate it. And I'm sorry my mind hasn't been, but I needed to answer this as a whole. I just chose to do it this way, and I hope those who have emailed me will catch this. Either they're in here or they'll catch it on the replay, so they understand, because I understand wanting some, kind of what's going on, or people ask, because I brought it up. I brought it up on a Sunday because I knew that people were going to be able to tell what was going on, and I was, different. And I believe in the power of prayer. Thank you, Teresa. That is what we need more than anything. I appreciate all you. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Never. I mean, we had a daughter pass away in 2009, and that was horrific. And it's not they're lent to us in different things. Thank you, Sandra. Which is true. That doesn't make the pain of it. Grief is very demanding, and I'm not one to bottle up my stuff. This is real. This is what's going on. I'm going to feel this. I'm going to sit with it and deal. Because if I don't, I believe that is like shaking like a bottle of Coke or something. Eventually, it's going to explode, and I choose not to do that. Oh, thank you, Milkmaid. I appreciate it. And that's why I wanted to do this separate like this, and it was a pop-up, and I usually don't do those as much. Is I wanted to keep my Sunday chat different. I am going to be able to do my things on Sunday because I know how my schedule is, and then there may be something. There may be something, and I will put something in my community tab. I'll say, hey guys, I'm not going to be here. I will let you know, and I promise if anyone knows, Miss Sharon's going to know, because I'm going to call. I'm going to get up with Miss Sharon. I'm going to say, hey, put the word out. If I can't get to it, I will. But right now, yeah, she's already been through that. This is the second time she's had it, and in the family, she has lived the longest with it. She had it almost 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago. She had it the first time with the surgery, chemo, radiation, and she was given like 3 years, and it was a grade 3. And then it came back. They just, no symptoms. She was found on her routine scans because she's had it before. And it came back as a grade 4. And, this is just where we are. Hey, Mary, how are you? She's a wildflower. How are you? Hey, prepping artist. I'm so sorry if I've missed anybody. But hey, elusive, how are you? Let's see. I'm trying to, yeah, and I know so many people are going through it, and I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm still covering you in prayers. Yeah, and it is about peace. And the thing is like I said, it demands to be felt, and there's no easy way around that but through it. And I don't believe that time heals all wounds. I think that time and God, help us carry that so it doesn't go away. It's not like, over time, eventually it went away. I don't think about it hard. I mean, our daughter passed away 14 years ago, and I still have an ache and a hurt for her. But it's not the same. You learn how to carry that. It's part of you. This is part of our journey. This is part of our path. And my mother told me that. Now, because when I was on the phone with her, that's my mama. So she, she's being strong, but she didn't want this. She just wishes the outcome could be different. She had so much she still wants to do, and she doesn't want to leave any of us. And there's that normal human side of things. But she's at peace. She has a very strong faith, and she's trusting, God's will about things. And there was a big thing she had told me, and I just said, because there are times I'm so sorry. There are times as us, we are human, and that we do feel like, I prayed, my faith is so strong, I completely surrendered this. And we do feel like that. And that's human in us to feel that way. I talked about before, I was very honest about, like when our daughter passed, that was the first and only time in my life I've been angry at God. And it was horrific. Ask Huckleberry, it was horrific. And I had a hard time for a lot of years. But it still has still shaped us, and good has come from that. And you're never the same. I think big events, it's divided into before and after. And we have some people turn their back on God or their faith or lose faith and then some you have to let it grow you. That doesn't mean you don't hurt and you can't be angry and you fuss and things like that, but you get through it. But I was having that conversation with my mom yesterday, and she said, well, she had told me that, I am still going to be healed, whether I'm healed here on earth or I'm healed when God takes me home, which is so true. There's no cancer in heaven. There's no the suffering or whatever ailment or different things or the fear or brokenness or anything in heaven, which is a good perspective to have. But that doesn't mean we don't hurt and we don't hurt and we go through it here, and that's what it is. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mary. Yeah. I can always say, truthfully, my faith has never been weakened or altered, even when our daughter passed. But I was mad. If I could have thrown hands and fought at that moment with God, I was so mad. I had to I needed my blame to go somewhere. And I just couldn't understand it. But I didn't lose my faith, and I won't lose my faith with this because I won't, and I do. Thank you, Ms. Sharon. I appreciate it. But I'm going to be going through it. And that's just the facts of life. This is real life. And I'm by far the only one. And even, I even thought about that, the things that are going on in this world, the things that are coming, the suffering we know. We talk about the reality of the suffering that's going to come in all angles, which I'm not going to get into a big amount of that. Sadly, we're going to see this grief and hardship more and more in different forms. It's going to happen. And that's why I constantly, hit on the spiritual side of things. And I constantly pray before I record a simple video that has nothing to do with anything heavy or heavy videos, or I do a live or anything like that, or God use me somehow to help others. If I'm going through it, let it help somebody else. And I think oftentimes when that happens, it's part of our healing process as well. So I just want to, and I'm not going to keep you guys long. I wanted to address it because I wanted to keep it separate from my Sunday live. And I wanted to be able to answer. I've gotten so many emails asking, updates. How's your mom? What happened Thursday? Where are you going? What happened? Are you leaving YouTube? And I understand. And I'm not fussing about that at all. I understand. But I just thought it was, it was just a better way to address all of it at once if I could. She's a wildflower. I'm seeing this. Oh man. Yeah, it does. Grief is that is a because you can have a ton of people around your whole family, supportive, loving, great, your spouse, your family around you, but that is a lonely walk because we all heal and deal differently. Grief hits us differently, and it's just what it's just. I mean, like my mom, she's like, it is what it is, honey. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's true. So I needed to pop up. I did give Miss Sharon forewarning. Bless her. Yeah. Hey, Yardbirds, did I miss you or have you been in here? I'm sorry, anybody I've missed. I appreciate you guys coming in. And I know so many people, they're going through it and they have been going through it. Like I said, I get emails all the time. People say, can you pray about this? Or I'm just brokenhearted and I'm hurt and I'm struggling. I do. I regularly, week after week after week, I get emails. I'm by far the only one. And I know that I'm not alone, and it's just everyone's is a little bit different, and you're not alone. If you're going through something, it could have already happened. It could be in the middle of it. If it comes in the future, you're not alone either. And I'm going to throw this out. If you haven't seen it, Just Josh did a a live last night because he's very random and he just pops up at the spur of whatever. And I stayed off of, yeah, I was just yesterday was just a day. And he was talking about how we need each other. It was a live. He did it last night. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Cause I caught the replay this morning on it, which is just, he was just on it. I mean, it's so true because, I talk about, if you follow me for anything, is a phrase I use about sitting in the shadows and how something, it's okay. Different reasons you would, be there is that's fine, but not staying there. Or I will come, somebody will come in and sit with you. They'll be with you through that grief, or they'll help lift you up, or they'll stand and guard you while you're going through something. We need each other in those different ways. Yeah, she's like that about trying to comfort others, but she's going to have her days too. She says, I just wish this wasn't what it was. That is my wish for all of this. I wanted more, time with my kids, my grandkids, my husband, my life, on. But she, I try to think about, and I've told people this, it's not one of those, well, they're in a better place. And I know people mean well when they say that. I understand that. But for, my thing is, for whatever reason, whether it was when our daughter passed, when it was with my best friend who was in her early 40s suddenly passed, or with, God takes my mama out of here, before we think it's even time, for whatever reason, and we're never gonna know the answers why we're still here, is for some reason their journey here was done. And we have to look at things that way. They did what they were set to do here, and now it's time for them to go home. And I think there's always a comfort. And I say to my kids, we're all going to be together again one day. This isn't goodbye. This is just until I see you later when my name gets called. And, but we're in our flesh and we're human and we're used to the physical existence of people being around us. That is a loss. Yeah. I see a lot of different people. She's wildflower with going things. Yeah. And I think there's a big thing, and this is conversations her and I had, and I encourage other people, and I'm big about this, is as much as we hurt or grief or feel lost and broken and just through all of it, we have to still continue to live while we're here. Maybe you still had plans. Hey, we had this, these plans, and this is what we were going to do, or this is what this person wanted to do. That is the way to honor them. Don't give up and say, well, it's not worth it. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to laugh again. I'm not going to do these things because I'm grieving and they're gone. I think that you honor them that way. To still live life to the fullest, still be happy, keep their memories, alive, and continue to do everything that, you set out to do. I think that's important. Please do not let grief and things like that steal that from you. It was. I'm gonna share it on my thing. I haven't went up there yet, but after I watched it. But it's great. Josh has always got that energy, and he does that too. And he'll tell you in all his things. He'll say it is I just get up here and talk, and unplanned as the spirit leads, and that's how he does it. Hey, yeah, absolutely, fish sticks. I agree. That doesn't make it any easier because we have that physical existence. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Dusty, did I miss you? Have you been in here? I appreciate you. Yeah, you have to. You have to, Milkmaid. And it's also not fair to. It's not fair to those around us, who's when we've all seen people in different times, and maybe who've gone through that. it's not fair to people around us if we just give up and give in complete to our grief. Now there's a grieving process. That's not a time frame. It never goes away, and you'll still many times later on have good and bad days. But we have to keep on. I don't know. Am I buffering for everybody? I mean, I can't tell on my end. If I am, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments if anyone else is buffering. Oh no. Hey, Huckleberry, is it buffering in there? You're buffering also? I don't know. Maybe I said, maybe everybody's buffering. I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's some of the words I said. I don't know. I guess it's about 50-50. Huckleberry's always got me. It's probably because you're working. Yeah, he's in there working. Yeah, he does. He's always got me. And when I am like down, when I'm struggling, and I'm human. I'm in my flesh. When I have things I struggle, that's what I say. You got me. He's always got me. That's what we do. 5x5. Sorry if it is buffering. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, we had Michigan. We had a bunch of rain, it's raining, but nothing like it was. It comes in waves. It's been super windy last 2 days, and it was raining like all day, like steady, just raining. But it seems okay now. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So that's what's going on, and you'll understand when I'm, if it's last minute, I'm not on things, and give an explanation of what happened about Thursday nights. So people know, because it's not, not that it's owed, but there's most of my regulars who are already in here, they know. Yeah, find something. Well, that's the whole thing, Milkweed. I find things to laugh out, and I'm like, no matter what's going on, is find joy every day in something, the smallest things. Find something to be grateful for. Find joy. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is the weather. I apologize if it is all messed up. There's no tornadoes over here this time. When it was really bad that time, that was crazy. That came in really fast. Which I think was the same thing. Was that the same live? I think it was. It was the same live, wasn't it? When I had to give up, I was just kind of saying what was going on, and then it got all crazy. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. A lot of people sent me things and we put comments in there or sent me emails telling me they were praying. And I greatly appreciate it because right now this is all in God's hands. Like I said, there's nothing I can do on my end, how I do things, or her team of doctors. And she does have really good doctors that is just where it'll only take you so far. And I've talked about that before. Yeah, that's right. It's up to God. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people go through that, Michael. It's almost like this undeserving, like I shouldn't be happy because if I'm happy and I'm laughing and I'm continuing on, it almost makes us feel like, what does it bother me anymore? Or I'm just over it. I remember going through that when our daughter passed. I do. That's a very natural thing. And I think people need to understand we do feel that way, but as us who are on the other side of it or been through it or not going through those trials at the time, to let people know it's okay, but you're still here. That person, your loved one that passed, would not be like, you know what? I hope you spend the rest of your days here suffering. Don't be happy or anything. And they would not want that. And I think we have to keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know. It just does it, I guess. Mine usually doesn't have a problem, but who knows? All right, guys. And I encourage you still. I mean, don't think because I'm going through some stuff right now that oh, I don't want to bother her. I may not get back to you the same day, but that was given before because I'm busy. Um, is don't feel that you can't, I don't want to bother her, she's going through stuff, or I can't ask. Please don't feel that way, because I am still doing the journey God set me on about everything. That is still, it's still my life and what's going on. So please don't feel that way or feel like anything that goes on like that. I always tell people, I'm like, don't tiptoe around me about things. But I mean, there's like, give me grace of like, I didn't answer you the same day and get nasty, or like, I'm sorry, I just can't be on here today, or something happened or comes about, or, and like I said, it may be unplanned. Like I was just, it could be because that's the reality of what's coming. It just is. Um, but I completely agree, and that is true. I would be if I was gone and my loved ones. Like, man, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, she's always had a strong faith. Her mother had a strong faith. Both I talk about my grandmothers all the time, and their strong faith. Um, yeah, there is absolutely. Content. There is no wrong with the shirt. Like my mother's still like this. She laughs and she talks and she's kind of like, when she told me this morning, I talked to her. She's like, all right. She's like, I'm glad you got a lot to say, but I gotta go. I'm trying to go eat and do some stuff. I mean, she's like, yeah, I got things to do. That's how she is. Exactly. And that's why I remember the good times and bring up the stories and talk about, and I'm big on keeping someone's memory alive and passing that down to maybe generations that didn't know them. I'm huge on doing that. Yeah. Exactly. All of y'all talking about. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love you a bunch. I love all you guys. Y'all are just the best. I say that. Me, Sharon always say it. We're gonna probably say it again. I'm like, I just have the best chat. I do. I just have a good crew of people. Y'all are my people. And because of that is why I feel like um there's a deserving amount, or I feel like that, I want to give y'all a piece of kind of what's going on. Of course, there's things I won't get into. Um, that's just out of respect and everything, but that's why I choose to come up here. And I wanted to keep it separate. And it makes it easier for me to get up here and talk about it than it is to answer a ton of emails when I need to address it as a whole. Because some people will question, hey Sandy, some people they feel uncomfortable, like I don't know what to ask, but I'm so worried. I mean, I've been like that before. Like I don't feel like I should ask or bring it up, but I am like, are you okay? I don't have no details, but are you okay? That's human nature in us, especially when it's people that we, it's kind of our community, people we care about, and stuff. That's normal. All right, guys. I'm not going to keep this long. Is there anything else? And I'm still, again, I'm praying for all of you. And don't feel that you can't reach out to me. Like, oh, my plate's full. Well, everybody's plate's full. It's just full at different times and in different ways. Still, you have, I get them all the time. Casey, can you please pray about this? Absolutely. Please still send me that. That is what we're here for. That part of me doesn't stop because I'm going through all of this. And even if it's like the medical side of things, or gardening, or homesteading, or homeschooling, I get, all kinds of different types of emails. If I'm absent for a little bit, this is your reason why, and I'm okay, but this is what's going on, and give me grace on that. Thank you. I love all you guys. Yes, Beaverines. All my Beaverines, come over here. Is John out of is Purple Nation out of the slammer yet? What did he get? 2 weeks? And the thing is there's been a lot going on. I have not regularly watched my regular people in a long time. Now, there are a lot of times that I listen as I'm doing things and I don't comment. I'm not in chat because I just have to be listening as I'm doing things. But I think he's out now, isn't he? I do. Miss Sharon, yeah, absolutely. But yes, Miss Sharon, we say this every week. We say this over and over and over. It's true. I do. I have a great thanks. Thank you guys. But I will be up here. I will still have my, God willing, if something all of a sudden happen, I still plan I will do my Sunday chat, and why I wanted to kind of keep this separate because our Sunday chat is kind of low key and easygoing and lighthearted about things. We talk about some things, but I just felt like I wanted to keep it separate. Thank you, Milkmaid. Yeah, this is being in the valley. It is. This is in the valley moments. And we are not immune to that. We're going to go through it. And that's why I encourage people, don't let grief and suffering and hard times make you lose your faith or courage about things or in yourself or anything like that. All right, guys, I appreciate all you being here. I will see you. I don't do things on Saturday, but I will see you guys on Sunday, 3:30. It's 3:30, right? Is it 3:30, Michelle? 3:30 Sunday chat. I will be here. But I appreciate all of you and your understanding, and I appreciate your prayers. My mother appreciates your prayers, and I will. I mean, here and there, I will. I'll give updates as not detailed stuff, but here and there, I'll keep some updated things going on. But I appreciate all of you, and I will hopefully see you Sunday. Everyone, take care. Love you guys. Bye.